Hello, welcome to my channel, Mark D. Heilong. My name is Mark Donaldson. My Chinese name is Heilong. And today we're going to go into part 3 of our Lunch and Learn session on why I became a vegan. We're going to cover the acid-alkaline balance and maintaining a healthy pH and why. Okay. So we're going to do a quick recap of the second presentation. So we covered the China Cornell Oxford project, aka the China Project or the China Study. The China study found that as the amount of animal foods increased in the diet consumption, even in relatively small increments, so did the emergence of cancers that are common in the West. As animal food consumption approached zero, cancer rates fell. What are carbohydrates? The sources of carbohydrates were covered, or carbs short. Good carbs and bad carbs. We also looked, we didn't go open the StatsCan diabetes numbers, but it's a simple Google search for both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Covered the definition of carbohydrates, which is any of a group of organic compounds that includes sugars, starches, celluloses, and gums, and serves as a major energy source in the diet of animals. These compounds are produced by photosynthetic plants and contain only carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, usually in the ratio of 1 to 2 to 1. Good carbohydrate sources were covered, including whole grains, veggies, fruits, and beans, and fiber, which is the exception, and that's it. We also covered what are bad carbohydrate sources. So refined carbs like white bread, and we have high glycemic carbs like white rice or potatoes, which is sort of an exception if you have like mashed potatoes, things like noche, things that are very processed. Baked goods, pastries, popper soda, sugary cereals, and juices, etc. Sugary juices. So glucose is to your body what gasoline is to your car. It's not going to run without it. Fiber is the carb exception. All of the good things fiber does for your digestive tract and increases the rate of absorption of your food and nutrients in your body are also covered. And fiber is the broom and mop of your digestive tract. So acid-alkaline balance. So what is the acid-alkaline balance in our bodies? So we have to go back to our ancestral eating habits. They ate an abundance of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. A diet high in organic mineral compounds, 5 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Eating these foods made our acid alkaline levels in balance within our bodies only after we eat them. So the effect of eating these foods allowed us to fight off disease and prevented us from getting sick easily. So trivia time, true or false? The pH level of ocean water is relatively close to the pH level of a healthy human being. That is true. So what is the acid alkaline balance in our body? So the book called the Acid Alkaline Food Guide, a guide on foods that have an effect on our pH levels, which is acidity and alkalinity, when we eat them, by Dr. Susan E. Brown and Larry Chiavieri Jr. So back to we are what we eat when it comes to foods that have an impact on our acid alkaline balance. So the book is a comprehensive guide to food nutrition regarding our pH level and the food guide that helps us choose foods that will benefit our pH levels after we eat them or consume them. So Dr. Albert Gyogi, Nobel laureate, the body is alkaline by design, but acidic in its function. So what does this mean? So let's explain. Throughout the day, our body's metabolic processes produce enormous quantities of acid, even though our cells and tissues require a slightly alkaline environment. Our bodies must first neutralize or excrete the vast majority of acids that it produces constantly, like how a factory must produce waste when it burns energy. A healthy body will maintain a narrow pH balance throughout the day in our blood, tissues, and bodily fluids. So, what is pH? So, pH stands for potential for hydrogen, which was defined in 1909 by Danish scientist Soren P. L. Sorensen. pH, potential for hydrogen, is a measurement used to determine the concentration of hydrogen ions in a fluid. So, the more hydrogen equals the more acidic the solution. Boring yawn, putting y'all to sleep by now. So, that was chemistry. But why is pH measurement so important? So let's look at a pH scale. So on a pH scale between 0 to 14, 7 is neutral. 0 is extremely acidic, and 14 is extremely alkaline. So on the scale, we can see at the very top, approaching towards 0, we have battery acid, lemon juice, vinegar. Adult fish do die in these levels of acidity. Fish reproduction is also affected at these acidity, like acid rain, for example, does have a huge effect on fish reproduction. And normal range of precipitation falls within 5 to 6, and of course, milk is close to neutral. Baking soda is a little bit more alkaline. Baking soda, seawater, milk of magnesia, ammonia, and of course, lye. Lye is what they use to straighten hair. So how do we test for pH in our bodies? We use pH paper or Hydrion paper. If you remember in high school chemistry class, we used to use pH paper that would change color when we exposed it to different chemicals. So pH paper would cause a chemical reaction to the pigment in the paper, will change its color based on the level of acidity or alkalinity that the paper is exposed to, typically in a liquid or a solution. So once we expose the paper and the pigment changes, we compare the reacted paper with a color chart for pH level. So if you go back here, you'll see a color chart, but usually it's a scale, a color scale chart. So usually we test in humans or in ourselves, we want to test after at least 6 hours of sleep via urine or in the urine stream, or more accurately, using saliva. A jump in 1 unit of pH is a jump by a factor of 10 times in acidity or alkalinity. So hydrogen ion concentration in a solution. So this is, I guess, a logarithmic 10 scale. So this is natural, and there are many other logarithms that occur in nature, and this is one of them. So what happens in our bodies when we're too acidic? Chemistry happens. If we don't eat a nutrient-rich diet from fruits, plants, nuts, and seeds, the following happens. What happens is we pull from our bones vital minerals like calcium and magnesium to maintain a proper pH balance or neutral pH. Depletion of bone materials will move on to secondary sources like muscles and tissues. So once we've depleted pretty much most of the minerals that we can, it moves on to muscles and tissues. And of course, arthritis and degenerative illnesses are the result. It also leads to things like kidney stones, um, bone fractures, and of course, the worst case scenario is broken bones, brittle broken bones. Trivia time, true or false? Is running or walking for long periods of time the single biggest cause of osteoporosis and arthritis in adults? Well, that's false. If you have a healthy diet that maintains a pH neutral within your body, you should have no real issues regarding osteoporosis or arthritis in adults, healthy adults. According to the true or false, according to the World Health Organization, undernutrition, malnutrition has surpassed obesity, or they call it globesity, around the world. That is true. Malnutrition and undernutrition has surpassed obesity as one of the #1 killers of humans in the world, which is very unfortunate. How can we prevent pH imbalance and high acidity? We can maintain a healthy consumption of nutrient and mineral-rich foods in your diet throughout the day. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables in season, like fruit salad, 5 to 10 a day. You know, you've probably heard it before under the food guide. Get a good night's sleep and maintain regular exercise. You should also drink enough water for your size and body weight or body mass. You can ask your doctor what's the recommendation, and you drink enough water throughout the daytime. You also understand what foods have an effect on your pH levels after you ingest them using the pH food guide or just using a simple table online. So when you nutrient mineral rich foods that grow pretty much dark, leafy green, I guess they call them cruciferous vegetables, have a very high concentration of minerals, including sodium, iron, and phosphates and phosphorus, like dark leafy green kale, spinach, things of that nature, foods of that nature. Yeah. So negative effects of high acidity. So acid-inducing Western diets. More it So the acid-inducing Western diet causes more work for your kidneys. It could also lead to irreversible kidney damage. The Western diet can also lead to premature aging of the skin and cells in your body. You know, the fountain of youth is in your blood, and it's also found in what you eat. So it can also lead to increased breathing, carbonic acid through your lungs. So you have high acidity, it tries to expel it through your lungs through breathing. You can also have reduced bone formation, osteoporosis. You can have the curvature of the bones or bending of the bones under your natural weight, like bow-leggedness and so on. You can also experience some pain and inflammation of the joints, tendons, and ligaments because it's pretty much breaking down your body. You can also experience a breakdown of protein in the body, what they call muscle wasting, where you don't really have muscle tone in your body. And also you also experience the weakness of connective tissues like tendon tears, joint and ligament tears, and so on. Negative effects also continuing on include kidney stone formation risk because you have all these minerals in your bloodstream. They get filtered through the kidneys and you form kidney stones, which are extremely painful to as they say, pass a kidney stone, and sometimes they require surgery to blast them and make them smaller so you can pass them. So the acid-inducing Western diet also encourages the growth and spread of yeast and fungi which thrive in acidic environments. The Western diet also promotes is a fertile breeding ground for virus growth like the cold and the flu or influenza. Um, the acid-inducing Western diet can also impair cellular function and can also prevent cells from properly producing and maintaining the proteins needed for cellular repair, aka the cells pretty much age without the protein. So the positive effects of neutral acidity, which is a nutrient-rich diet, the positive effects include good, healthy enzyme function. They function efficiently to build cells and tissues in your body to help you stay young from the inside out. The neutral acidity benefits nutrients that are harvested and retained to build cells and tissues, including your bones. Neutral acidity in your body promotes the building and retaining of muscle tone and definition after you stop working out. So, in other words, you get to keep the results of going to the gym much longer. Exercise activity recovery is also faster and shorter in duration when you have a neutral acidity in the body. And also, swelling and inflammation of tissues, organs, and joints are reduced and further eliminated. In other words, you can eliminate arthritis. This is something that I've experienced for me, inflammation and swelling pretty much non-existent, especially after doing physical activity like working out, doing weights or sports, your recovery is very fast, almost next day. We continue on to you have increased mental agility and acuity. Your organs and tissues aren't stressed. You have fewer sicknesses due to colds and flu or virus, and you heal quickly when injured. That's one of the things that I noticed when I went plant-based is all my cuts healed very quickly. Like on my fingers, anywhere I got a cut healed very quickly, and it didn't have a lot of the scarring. Trivia time, true or false? Applying topical lotions or moisturizers to the skin is the best way to prevent dryness and retain moisture and a youthful appearance. Well, that's false. The best way to maintain good moisture of the skin is to drink lots of water. Water is the best way to moisturize your skin from the inside out. And true or false, is margarine better for you than butter? Trying to remember this one. I think margarine is better for you than butter, I guess, because one is, let's see, margarine better for you than butter. I can't remember. I think it's margarine. I think one is more refined or processed. Personally, I'd say neither as a vegan, but yeah, and you do have plant-based butter and margarine substitutes that you can purchase in the store. So what can I do each day to maintain a healthy pH balance? So we can start with water mixed with lemon juice and citrus fruits like oranges. We can eat lots of fruits, ripe peaches, apples, bananas, strawberries, blueberries, and so on first thing in the morning. You can have a salad with your lunch or for lunch on its own. That will help you maintain a good, healthy pH balance because it has lots of minerals. A side of mixed vegetables with your chicken or fish, if you're a meat eater, would be okay. A strawberry, banana, kiwi smoothie with almond or coconut milk or plant-based milk mixed with kale, greens, and ground flax seeds is really, really good. And a palm full of almonds and seeds gets all your omega-3s for the day. And those are just some suggested options I choose daily. It changes based on the season, what fruits and vegetables are in season. I love to make smoothies in the summertime. So so in the next video, we'll cover the protein and amino acids. So your protein questions are answered in part 4. So the common vegan question, where do you get your protein? I'm going to answer that question in the next video. So here we are with the references of my research. Some of these channels may be outdated or changed. Thank you for watching part 3 of my video. I almost forgot which part it was. If you like this video, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to like it. Please be sure to subscribe and also smash that notification bell. And if you thought the video was very valuable, please take a moment to share it with others. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.